All right, everyone. So Soldano here, going to try to do a little bit of practice in Guilty Gear Strive with learning Leo Whitefang. So we'll go to our dojo and do some training. So don't have all the characters purchased quite yet. I'll do Leo and I'll train against Soul. So some of the things I want to go through and take note of are the differences between Strive and Xrd. Leo is very different from what I've got, so a lot of the changes are really that he doesn't have the Reikas anymore. Let's go into our training settings and let's just turn off or I can do the inputs. I don't really need to see that or the display for those. Just, well, maybe we can do. So maybe we can see our startups. So our main normal, our fastest one for just that's safe is going to be our standing P. And it's a pretty short range. I can whiff it even from here, so I have to be right on foot to foot to get like that max range because I can be right here. Crouching is even shorter. So that's going to be like your dash in. Let's see if we can get a good feel for that. So we'll reset. So you want to cancel into his specials, but let's just look at his. So his stand punch, I can get him if I'm foot to foot if he's standing. Let's see how stand punch does. We'll do our dummy. I'm crouching, so about the same thing, but I have to be a little bit closer to hit crouching. So like right on there. So not a lot of range with his punch. So this is not a good poke, but it's going to be one of his fastest options since it's got a 5-frame startup, as you can see. And it's not... So, oops, that's his 6P or forward P. So his anti-air is a 10-frame startup. So a 10-frame anti-air isn't the worst since... But, so his crouching is 1 frame shorter. So 15 frames total. So it looks like he's got 5 frames of startup and 10 frames of recovery. 11 frames of recovery for crouch. And if I hit, I have only 2 frames of advantage. So you can get 2 before you're pushed out. And you can combo into his quarter circle forward S. So that would just be like your main string. But if you're not close enough, you're not going to get that second P. So this would be if you're right on them and then see if they block or not. Because if you're just here, you're not going to get the second punch, unfortunately. Let's go to standing. So and see how we'll go reset to the middle. So his kick. So standing kick, he has this kind of, I think of it like Guile's bazooka knee from Street Fighter. So pretty good range. So if I'm right here, outside of, so about like a step away, I can still get him with that knee. So it's got a 9-frame startup, which is pretty cool for a really forward-moving attack. And it's got some recovery, though. So if I whiff it, that's 25 frames. So that's a little less than half a second of recovery. So it's not safe to throw out, whereas this would be a quarter of a second. A lot safer to just toss out while you're moving. But this one, yeah, you could get punished if you don't actually hit. Your frame advantage, let's see what it looks like if they're blocking. So we'll do guard first hit. That's good. So if he guards it, I'm at 0 if I'm close, but if I'm far away, where am I? Oh wait, no, I have guard after first hit. I want guard the first hit. There we go. So I'm at -3, -1. So I want that -1, I think. -2. So you can get pretty even or very minimal disadvantage on block. So let's go to the center. See if we can get some of that max range. That's too close. Yeah, we want to get just in that, like we're just hitting him with the tip of that knee. Now, low kick, I can hit him from stand kick here, but I cannot do low kick. Low kick, I have to be a little bit closer to get just the tip. Let's go back to the middle. So I'm not safe after a blocked low kick. I'm pretty safe after a blocked bazooka knee, though. But both of them go to this move. So this is a forward kick, and he's, I believe, throw invincible when he does this, and he's only -4. So that's quite a good advantage, and you want to do your kicks into that. So I believe he can do bazooka knee into it. So you want to be buffering that forward kick because you're safe, but if that hits, whoops, not that one. So I want to do the core circle. We'll do that with when I go over specials, but you can combo into your core circle forward S, and that's just like a quick knockdown advantage that you get. So those are his shortest motion attacks. He has forward punch. If he does block it, you're negative, so you don't want to do this in pressure. You want to be doing your light punch. This is very safe, very anti-committal. If you accidentally get this P out, you can get punished since you're -9. This is only if you see him jump. This is also unsafe if you just do it as a poke. So you can't treat this like a Street Fighter low medium, or we call that low forward. You're -5, so your turn's over. You always want to be buffering into the forward because you leave a frame gap, which we call a frame trap. And if you do the buffer, it's not going to come out unless they block the first part. So I'm buffering, and it's not going to come out unless they block that first hit. And then you're going to look for the hit confirm and go in. Whoop. To get that cancel. So you want to be buffering this one. You can just kind of throw out, this is actually a pretty good poke. Let's see. So if we go round start, Bazooka Knee does not reach, but forward kick does reach from round start, and it's throw invincible. It's not the fastest startup at 14 frames, so it's a quarter-second startup, but it's not like they're going to see that. Because Leo has a few different ways of moving forward. He can do bazooka. He can do just a dash empty. So yeah, using the dash button versus the two forwards, getting used to that still. And let's go over Leo's dash. So he does not have a run. If you hold forward, he does not continue to run. He just keeps his momentum, but you can stop it. You can dash into any of your attacks. Now, dash P, I would do the dash button because you might get the forward punch. And as I just said, that is not going to be safe. Whoop. So you can dash into his low punch. So I want to get used to some of that stuff. Dash into low kick. You will be able to reach with low kick there. So, and low kick is a 7-frame startup. Not bad. It's only 1 frame slower than his low punch. Much further reach than low punch. And as we said, you can buffer into the forward kick. So 6K is very good, and you can visually see if it hits and go into your cancel. So you're buffering into that down forward, and you can kind of train to see if the forward kick hits, go into your quarter circle forward S. So we'll call that Reika, even though he doesn't have a series of Reikas anymore. But that's all I've ever called it. Let's go into his medium button. So his S. He has 2 S's. Standing, he has close S, which is his cool headbutt. This is fast. 7 frames, very safe on block. So he is at advantage. He is at 1 frame. So we're at +1 here. So you can keep it up. And then far S is, let's see if that's round start. So far S, you can hit far S from round start, just like 6K. But far S, let's look at that. Let's look at that startup. 12 frames, whereas 6K is 14. So this is even faster. Far S, and if you hold far S, you get to do a guard. So you get your shield. So I believe this has armor. So this is a guard point move. I've never been great with applying this, but because I'm used to S and going into H. So there's a range where H will hit after S is blocked. And after an H is great, so it actually reaches down low, and they can't really duck under that. And that's going to be your main pressure, is this SH, and seeing if... Now, H, if they block, you're at -10. So you don't really want to have that as a close move that they block. You want to be max range, and you also want to kind of frame trap it, because look how it like hits his calf if you do it late. And I'm only -5. Or wait, no, he did block that. So let's see if I can get a really late block. Let's see if he blocks it low, if there's a difference. So we'll go crouch. So -8 from here. So if you hit it with the very last part where it goes low, it's much less. So that max range H. H also has a guard point if you hold it. Now you can go from H to S, which is also, so you have this SHS. That's a little bit slow. So even if you're pressed out, you can kind of get some good pokes as you're still hitting them. We'll have to get a feel for some of this though. Now you can go close S to standing to far S. So you can do 2 slashes, but you want to be close for that. This is going to be your best close-in button for pressure is that S. Starts up just 2 frames slower than punch, and you are at massive advantage, and you can go into heavier attacks. So I can go S, S, H, S. So I have 4 moves after close in, whoops, to hit confirm that with those heavies. Let's look at crouch S. So not going to hit from round start. Far S will, crouch S or down S will not. Sometimes with anime fighters they say 2S. So it's with the numeric directionality. So 2S, just like 2K, are not going to reach. I think 2S has even less range than 2K. Yep. So 2S does not have as much range as 2K. Let's look at startup. So startup for 2S is 10 frames, 2K is 7, so it's slower. It does hit low, so you do need that extra low thing, that low option. But I think it only goes into H. So 2S is only going to go into your stand heavy slash. 2S does not go into 6K. It does not go into, but you can go, it is special cancelable. You can go into 2S. So if you are here and you're trying to get them block low if they're standing, you can do that. So you can go from S to 2S, S, 2S, 6H to kind of mix up that high and low to make sure they're crouch blocking. If you see that they're worried about your dust option. So going overhead, then that's possible because you also have this overhead. So we'll go over that. So we'll go over his heavy moves next. So heavy slash, as we saw, massive range. We can guard point. You can go from H to S. So normal S can go into H, and H can go into another far S. So your S, SHS is good. You can go S to H to S again. You gotta get kind of the buffer time though. So you can't mash it. You have to go a little bit after it connects to cancel it. If you see my buffer inputs. So it's pretty good. Now he has a down H. I'm also a Guile player with Street Fighter, and this could be crouch heavy, but I don't think this is a good anti-air. I've never liked it. This is always an accidental input. It's got a lot of startup, whereas This is more invincible, and it's only 10 frames. So crouch H, not my favorite. I think it goes into one of his moves. No, but he does have his overhead. So this is it's a half a second startup with 28 frames. You're minus 15. So this is not something. Whoops. Forgot he has such a quick charge time. This is not going to be safe. You cannot cancel it into any specials, which honestly, an overhead into a special. Wait, can you? Oh, so you can. So you can make it slightly better by going into that, I think. So, yeah, you can be sneaky with it. Yeah, I didn't remember you can cancel, so you have to do it as you see that it blocks or hits. Let's see if it hits, if it's... So we want to make sure. So yeah, you can do the far S into forward H or 6H. You can do down S into forward H. You can also do your HS into forward H. So there's a lot of things that they have to think about if you are pressing your advantage with your slashes. You just have to make sure that you're alternating. So you can't do like HH. You can do HS into forward H. And this is an overhead. So, or no, it's not. So I'm thinking, oh, backward turn, back turn. That's when it's an overhead. This is just a big, far-reaching. That's why. Don't know why I didn't notice he was blocking that. So yes, this is not overhead, but it's very long-reaching. So this I can get. Let's see if I can find max range without charging up that. My goodness. Gotta be careful with walking backwards into that. So just outside of that, yep. Let's see if it whiffs. So this is going to be probably your longest range attack, or normal attack. If I can stop throwing his giant sonic boom. And I believe that is it for his ground normals. So air normals are nothing really to write home about. He has his jump kick, so this is active. That's probably his best air to ground button. His jump P goes downwards, so I mean, it doesn't reach nearly as far. It's as fast as jump normal though. So this is going to be probably your better air to air is your jump S, or your jump H. So I think, yeah, K has the biggest amount of active frames. And H is just below that. He does have a dive kick with jump dust. This is kind of just like to throw him off because you do that little like helicopter. But I think it's semi-safe, but it also can catch them because it stops your momentum. He has no air specials, so he does have some options though in the air while he's in his normal forward turn. That's right, I said forward turn. We'll go over his specials and then his the true reason to play Leo. So he has two versions of his Rekka. So he has where it hits in front, and then he has where it hits behind. So he's going to cross up. They have to block it from that. He goes into back turn after doing that Rekka. This is one way to get into his turnaround or Brynhild mode. And his other specials, he has like two versions of what I call the Sonic Boom. So this is the S version. It hits twice, so any single hitting projectile, I think it blows it away. It also hits kind of low, so they can't crouch it or slide under it, if I remember right. He has the heavy version that has quite a huge startup. So this is over half a second of startup. This is only 10 frames. It does hit 4 times, so there is that. This might be something after a knockdown, force them to respect. But you don't have what we had in XR, which was YRC, where you can throw it out and dash behind it. But you can kind of do that already without doing the YRC. He has two versions of Flash Kick. So this one has a 9-frame startup. That's the slash version. And then they have the heavy version, 10-frame startup. Invincible Dragon Punch. So this would be your anti-air of choice if they're going for stuff while they're jumping at you. Now, you're very minus after they block that, though. So they can do whatever they want to after you do that. I believe you can Roman cancel. Let's see. No. Okay, so you have to do like the first part. I can do it on the H, but I can't do the other one. Huh. Oh, we'll see. So I can PRC that one. So, those are his main specials. So he has Rekka, Fireball, and Flash Kick. He has two versions of his Super, as we call it. So I'll do the first one. Oh. So it's a scoot back H. 11 frame, invincible startup. So they do have to block the after attacks. So we'll look at his back turn next. Or, oops, so he does have, almost forgot. So he has quarter circle back and this one. So he's -8. This is his new move for Guilty Gear Strive. You're minus, it's got a really long startup. You can cancel into it. And I think after it hits, I think you go into Brynhild if you hold it. Yeah, so you hold S and then you turn, you get in your back turn. So this is like where you can choose if you'll go into back turn or not. And you can always cancel your stance with pushing down twice, so 2-2. And I can go into back turn like that. So, back turn stance. So this is why Leo is too cool for school. So he has awesome trench coat glory. He can dash. He can jump. He cannot block. But he also has the normal Gatling routine. So you can go from one attack into another. So you can go from K to S. You can go to, K to P. You can go PK. And K is a low. They have to respect that. And so you can go multiple low kicks. This move is the best move in the world, in my opinion. So you're just sitting here and you're just doing this little like shin kick, and it comes out fast. 5 frames. 5 frame low, walking 5 frame low. And it goes into his other attacks. So P, this is your anti-air while you are in this. I like how he kind of takes a knee as he does it. It's pretty cool. His S reaches very far compared for how fast it is. This is 6 frames. This is ridiculous. So Leo can't block in this, but this is when Leo is able to be very obnoxious and press his broken stuff. This is an 18 frame overhead. Look at that. He has to block that. This is the overhead you want to do. And you can go from low into that. Am I going to do low? I'm going to do overhead. Am I going to do another low, another low, another low, overhead? This is the kind of shenanigans you get into. Leo can also, let's see, he can also dash through the opponent and they have to pick which side. So am I going to block from this side? Am I going to block from that side? Whoop. You just got to time it, I guess. So you can dash through the opponent. You can do all this stuff. He cannot block, but he does have a little bit of an option. So he has this shield option, which is a counter attack. So if they hit his shield, he reacts and he counters them. I think this is best for supers or really obvious stuff because it's not safe. You're stuck here, and they can just wait for the shield to go away and take you to town. But sometimes you can kind of make them fear it just because it is an option. So you have to fear Leo's options in back turn. He can still he can get into back turn from a few different ways. So he can do his throw, and he's in back turn. He can get into back turn from quarter circle forward heavy slash, where he dashes through, and now his back is to you. You can do the quarter circle back S and hold it, and these will put you into back turn stance. Back turn stance also gives you a different super. Whoops, I did the heavy slash. So in back turn, let's go here. Oh. So in back turn, you can do the same motion, but do slash, and he does this really big projectile, the windmill. Whoops. Come on. This is an awesome move because it's so fast and damaging. So let's look at that startup again. So you really want to do that kind of in the corner. Let's see how much it does. So it's a 5 frame big projectile. He has another special move in back turn stance. So he can do his specials to get out of back turn stance. You can press down to get out. He has this overhead option as well, but it makes you leave back turn stance. So it's half circle or quarter circle back, heavy slash. So it's got this big wind up. So you could kind of catch them if they're being impatient, but this is still going to be a much better overhead. Its reach is insane. This is not reaching as far, and it's much slower, and you're very minus, I believe, if they block that one. So back turn is where Leo shines. He does have a jump attack while he is in back turn. This is also new. It's fast. It only hits down, I believe. Pretty low. So he never had a jump when he was in back turn in XR'd. So Leo's going to be very fun to get used to and learn and see what's different, what's maybe the same, remembering what I liked about him. He was a really cool character when he came out in Xrd, and I loved getting him and getting better with him. He just felt like Guile with more freedom and a different personality. Not always defensive, not the all-American, soldier. He's kind of this cool king. He's got this theme of lions. I'm a big 80s metal fan of White Lion, and he's just this cool character. Hopefully I can get some practice in with getting my ranges down with his attacks and getting used to the strings. He had Rekas and Xrd, so I would do an S, or quarter circle forward, S, S, and H. And you would get just kind of this mix-up blender of which version was going to come out and where you'd have to block. We don't have that dirty option anymore. So this will be fun. Thank you for watching. I hope I am able to get better with this game and take it into some matches and show some improvement eventually. Have a nice one.